Hi everyone, welcome to Legally Yours. Today I'm here with Katie Hrobelko from Lander & Co, based up in Canberra, and really keen just to get to know Katie better. So Katie, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, nice to be with you.
We're so excited to have you as part of our platform, and you're actually our first Canberra-based law firm to join us. So we're so super pleased that we've now got representation there, and so pleased that we're working with you. So thanks so much for joining us.
Glad to be a part of it.
Okay, so let's get into this Q&A so we can get to know your experience a bit better. So tell me about your background, because you've come into the law in sort of a different way. It hasn't been that traditional sort of route that people go to. Talk me through that.
Yeah, well, I actually began legal studies whilst I was a high school teacher and I was on maternity leave.
Yes.
Turned out I was absolutely hopeless at being a stay-at-home mum and needed something to do to think about. And initially I thought that I could just teach legal studies, and that's why I did it. But once I started studying, I found that I was really passionate about access to law and the role of lawyers in holding powerful institutions to account. So that's what's attracted me to the area of law that I practice in today, which is employment law. And injured workers often feel powerless, which stands to reason because employers often hold the power. So I feel like the work that we do involves standing up for those who've been mistreated and have lost their voice for whatever reason.
Yes.
So I've been working in the private sector for about 4.5 years. And prior to that, I worked for government in legal and policy roles for a while as well. So I've had quite a varied past.
Yes.
But the benefit of that, of course, is that it gives me quite a broad understanding into the employment issues that people face, because I have been in employment in much broader situations than just as a lawyer.
Absolutely, fantastic. And you can almost see both sides too, which is, I think, a real benefit, because you can give that sort of holistic advice in relation to that. And Lander & Co, they offer quite a range of services though as well. So talk me through the services that Lander & Co offer.
We do. We're best known for our work in the Comcare and employment law jurisdiction, but we also undertake work in other areas of personal injury. We undertake work, for example, with motor vehicle accidents. We also do wills and powers of attorney, some more general litigation work, and things like administrative law, contract disputes, debt recovery. So quite a broad range.
Fantastic. And I know you've got a real passion for sort of educating people up front. I know that there's a real passion for you to kind of get people earlier in the process so you can educate them as to how the process works and get them through that. So talk me a little bit about your mission with that.
Well, I've noticed that people are often reluctant to come and see a lawyer until it's too late and they're already locked into one particular process. When you have an employment dispute or an employment injury, there's often multifactorial aspects to it and a number of different actions that can be taken. And if you take the wrong step at an early phase, you're locking yourself into one particular route. So it's really good to seek that advice early on, and it gives you better chances of success down the long run as well.
Absolutely. And we talk a lot about that at Legally Yours. I mean, and that's kind of almost one of the foundations we were built upon, is if you can get that sort of education and that understanding of process, you can actually then sort of avoid long-term ramifications down the track of doing things either in the wrong way or going down a route that potentially you shouldn't know. So education is absolutely key in power, and I really love that you've set that up where you are at Lander & Co. So just really quick fun question to end the interview on. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be and what would you use it for?
Well, it would be to make people kinder to each other, and I would use it for good, of course.
Yes.
I would harness it to help organisations to make cultural changes, because every day I see the damage that failing to consider others causes.
Oh, well, that's a beautiful superpower, and it's one that I try and teach my 4 children, but I'm having small success with. So I might have to get you down to Melbourne so you can teach them the superpower of kindness, I think. Well, look, I've really enjoyed getting to know you better. I'm so excited to have you on board. And if you're out there and you have a need that Katie's explained, anything to do with employment or Comcare, but Katie, just to clarify as well, you can actually help clients all over Australia. It's not just necessarily Canberra-based. Is that correct?
Depending on the area of law, yes. So if it's someone who works for the Commonwealth, so who's a APS or federal employee, or a self-insurer under the Comcare Act, then yes, we'll take clients on Australia-wide.
Yes.
However, if you're covered by a private workers' compensation scheme, it's just in the ACT.
In the ACT. Okay, thank you so much for that clarification. And you can head to our platform and connect with Katie there for a free chat at legallyyours.com.au. Thanks so much for joining me, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you.